late, you son of a bitch. You're supposed to go live at 8 o'clock and it's frickin' 8:02. What the hell is wrong with you?
I was too busy growing out this fine stash there, Mr. PB.
Holy shit.
And as usual, he don't know how to title and put proper description in his videos. But hey, that's what's up.
Welcome everybody to the fandom car. It's Mr. General Filoni tonight. We're gonna be doing some Clone Wars talk, some lively discussion about this brand new episode and what we all thought. Whatever our thoughts and feelings and how the season is progressing and things like that, our rating system, and we are going to spoil the shit out of it. In case you all are wondering, my new job, I'm not going to give you any hints, but it involves a mustache. So, you draw your own conclusions. But it is a lucrative industry. Anyways, I'm going to go down the line here. We'll quickly we'll quickly get, I saw that in the chat. We'll quickly give a general
I bet you did see it in
synopsis.
the chat.
Go ahead,
You
Mr.
creepy
PB.
son of a
Tell him
bitch.
about the Great March Madness thing you're running.
Yep, you can go over to my channel, Pop Culture PB, and see the newest episode of MCU March Madness between Thor and Captain America the Winter Soldier. So go check it out.
All right. And of course, we have the ever so lonely, the safest out of all of us because they're vaccinated, Mr. LB. Tell them about yourself.
What up, everybody? LB here from the Lonely Banter. Here to talk another episode of Star Wars: The Clone Wars with my people. Yeah, go check out my man PB's March Madness tournament for the MCU. Of course, you like the MCU. Ain't no way Endgame could make $2.8 billion and people like you don't like the MCU. But anyway, let's get the ball rolling on this Star Wars talk, people.
Yeah, man. It's going to be interesting because already we have the Senate in here. What up, Senate? I like the new icon. I'm sure Stevie somewhere is doing a backflip. And Christoph is here. So welcome, Christoph. He actually asked me when we were doing this. So, hey, I'm pretty excited about that. People
I am
want to
never
get
going to
our
call
insights.
him that. I'm only ever going to call him the Polish guy.
Well, the Polish guy likes coming here to hear us chat about Clone Wars and thinks the MCU is awesome, PB. So you might have someone who will.
He seems like a smart man.
Very smart, very smart. I only get sensible comments from the Polish guy, so I'm loving it. I'm loving that we have some people interested in our wacky shenanigans, and for everyone who's rewatching, welcome. And you get the pleasure of General Zod's mustache. And before we get started, because, short episode, I'll give you guys a little story. This mustache started because the unicorn wanted to see what I'd look like with a mustache and then immediately asked me to shave it.
She's smart.
And I mean, PB, you know what happens. I got to do the opposite. So I said, not only am I not going to shave the mustache, I'm going to go live so that everyone else can enjoy the cowboy hat with the mustache. You're welcome.
I don't think you understand what "you're welcome" means.
So I'm going to do a brief synopsis, and then we'll kind of do this episode in order because there's really not much going on. So we'll just kind of go through what the episode was about, little things here and there, and then we'll give our opinions.
What do you mean? The episode was about women being stupid.
Yeah, I am feeling the fact that, okay, we had this idea. Everyone thought this was going to be female empowerment, but the women seem to be making the stupidest moves here. Hey, Jamie Vick, good to see you.
Hey, Jamie Vick.
Good evening, Jamie Vick. Good evening, Senate. Good evening, Polish guy.
So, let me just get your thoughts on the episode first, and then we'll go and break down the scenes and stuff. Mr. Pop Culture, what'd you think of the episode?
I thought it was the most lackluster episode of the season. There was a whole lot of sitting around and talking, and even when there was action, like air quotes action, it wasn't really that much action. Like, spoiler, because that's what we're talking about is spoilers. The action was them getting into the wrong lane, flying up, and then being let go. That was the action. Like, did anybody ever fire a blaster?
No, and that's the thing that's unusual.
No blasters, no crashes, nothing like that. At no point was I ever afraid that somebody was going to lose their life. Like, there needs to be a little suspense. The only suspense in the episode was the little bit when they're in the military lane and you're like, oh, well, are they going to get pulled over? Are they not going to get pulled over? What's going to happen? And then what happens at the very end of the episode, setting up for what I assume is going to be some hopefully spectacular Jedi feat in the next episode.
Well, they're not black, so of course they're not getting pulled over.
I
mean, that hairdo would make me think that she's
that.
black.
So you're saying, like, if hey, what up, Gary North? You're saying, like, if they had Mace Windu there, they would most definitely be pulled over until he gave his Jedi credentials?
Absolutely.
Because I'm sorry, I can't think of another character within the Clone Wars universe that is black, except for Mace Windu. I mean, is that just me, or has anyone else seen another character that I have
my
not?
question is, what are his credentials? Is there like a badge that says I'm in the Jedi Order? Or does he just flash his lightsaber and they're like, oh, let's not fuck with this guy?
I think it was the lightsaber for a while until word got around, and then they're just like, oh yeah, that's Mace. He struck down some soldiers. So yeah, the Polish guy made a pretty good point, and I'm apt to agree with him on this. If there was ever, and I'm using the air quotes, filler, I'd say this was more of a filler episode than last week. Because last week you still had moving action. There was dialogue, but there was the whole thing with the robot and everything else. And even the dialogue was very exciting in the fact that it gave you some different things about this. This one was more like I don't know, getting to know you in space. It was really weird. LB, what did you think of the episode? Because I know you don't like to throw around the word filler, but
I like the episode better than last week's episode.
Oh, okay, interesting. Tell us why.
Like PB mentioned, like there was a lot of talking. I enjoyed them talking to each other, getting to know each other. Ahsoka and Rafa fighting the entire time, and Trace just being stupid. She's like, hold on. She's like, hold on. Y'all can't tell me what to do. Hold up. They're fighting. Let me do something extra stupid to prove why Rafa always tells me what to do.
Yeah, like she made the she made the strongest case, because I like how they're in the middle of a fight, and then they both look at her and go, well, that was just stupid. You're like,
I'm sorry, I have to agree with the person that I disagree with constantly. That was freaking dumb.
So let's talk about the Easter egg there. They made a Star Wars reference. PB, do you know what reference I'm talking about? It pertains to
Probably
Han
not.
Solo.
Oh,
And
the fact that they were getting the spice from Kessel?
yep, remember he talks about how he did the Kessel run in like 5 parsecs all the time or something like
Oh
that, the
my
Millennium
God! Now
Falcon.
this guy,
I
you sound even dumber than the people in the movie now. Did you
I
just say 5?
Whatever.
I thought it was an Easter egg to the Rise of Skywalker because Poe Dameron was a spice runner.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, an Easter egg too, because they were talking about Spice Runners.
Yeah, but that could also be an Easter egg to Han Solo because he talks about how he went to that planet.
I mean,
And
I guess, but how did you just say the
thank
number
you,
5?
Senate. It's 14 parsecs. I'm sorry. I'm not
It's not.
like
It's not 4. Oh God. Oh God, Senate. Oh God, stop watching The Force Awakens, or watch it more, or watch it more, and hear Han Solo be like, 14 is 12.
nope.
It's freaking
Tony
12.
sandwiches. He got it right. He said 12.
Oh man, thank you, Tony. Thank you. Oh man, you
And welcome,
people.
Tony. Welcome.
Oh,
I don't think I've seen
Senate.
you here. So welcome to this funny chicanery. We're gonna talk to you guys about Clone Wars. So yeah, that
Polish
was
guy, Polish guy. We're not saying it's a Easter egg to the movie Solo, just to the character Solo. Because
no,
I ain't
no,
never seen
no.
the
It's
movie Solo.
no, it's a Easter egg for Han Solo's discussion in Mos Eisley when he was selling his services to Ben and Luke. Am I the only one that at least I remember the whole exchange? I
Sure. The
was
Senate
watching it the
said
other day
the planet Kessel looks like a shithole, but not as much as Tatooine. And I have to agree with that. What is it with, I guess not necessarily desert planets, but dusty planets are the planets that always seem to have slavery.
Yeah, here's an interesting thing that I wanted to point out too. Thank you for bringing it up, PB and LB. I will get your input on this. What did you guys think about the fact that Ahsoka basically walked away from that situation? I mean, granted, she couldn't go in with lightsabers blazing, but there didn't seem a lot of pushback. You know, she mentioned, "Oh, this is wrong," blah blah blah, but then they just kind of left.
Well, she doesn't want to reveal that she was a Jedi. That's how I took it.
Right.
And what about that comment about the Republic as she's walking away too? She's noticing that the Republic is not noticing these things.
Yeah,
I,
she is continuously seeing the flaws within the Jedi Order and the Republic, that they're not out there helping the planets the way that they said that they were.
yeah, and that's a continuation off of her previous arc. Like when she got kicked out, she's like realizing, okay, these Jedi ain't what they say they are. I mean, and it's funny because she's seeing that. I mean, for me, I've always seen that, and in the Clone Wars, show that more and more over the course of the series. So it's cool to see that she's realizing this.
Yeah, and here's the thing that pisses me off with all of those Ahsoka haters who say that, oh, she's just thrown in there and she has no growth. It's kind of funny because these 2 episodes, I see there's still continuous growth. This character through this series seems to always be growing. It's like the writers like understand, and they always keep on making like these layers that they're building. I would say she's one of the most developed characters that are not one of the main Jedis that are mentioned. You know what I mean? Like you think Luke and things like that, but she's one of those Jedi that has constant growth and development. And it's good for them to be acknowledging that too. And it like you said, LB, it's a nice callback to the previous season when she was accused for shit she didn't do. So I think that that's cool that she is constantly still growing in this role. It'll be interesting to see how they are going to do that within the Mandalorian. It'd be real curious to see that. So Yeah, so we had that scene. Also, what'd you guys think about the not was it Ralphie? Yeah, what
Rafa.
Rafa? I'm sorry, I'm crossing.
Ralphie?
Ralphie
Golly,
is
bro.
from Ralphie is from Picard. I'm sorry, crossed my
Ralphie's
R's.
like a ginger name.
Yeah, go figure. That's the character in Picard. I'm sorry about that. uh, but what do you guys think about her? And did you learn anything new, or does she just seem shady, or is there something more there?
For me, I feel like there's going to be a moment where she turns on them, and like she sacrifices her family for herself to to come up on something. Because man,
Ooh.
the she reminds me of Cruella de Vil to the jacket and all.
Yeah, I can see that.
The puppy murderer.
So you think they're gonna show a scene where she kicks a space puppy out of the out of the ship?
I'd be down for that.
But do you
Well,
like her
I
as a
mean,
character? Because I find her more interesting uh, than what's her
I mean,
face.
I'm pretty sure that she's the reason how Ahsoka's gonna get tied back to Maul, because apparently he's running the crime syndicate that is referenced in the movie Solo. So I assume that he's the guy at the very top that is actually owed all of the money that she probably owes to all of the individual people. So when he's like, oh, well, I'll just finally go collect it myself, then Ahsoka's going to be there and be like, oh, shit.
Ha!
And she's got to know who Darth Maul is, but have they ever fought each other directly? Because I don't remember seeing those two ever fight directly each other. I'm sure she'd know in reference because it's Darth Maul.
In the Clone Wars, I don't remember.
No, they
I
never
didn't
met in the
rewatch
Clone
the
Wars.
season. Okay. Does
Yeah,
she?
so
But she's got to know of him, though, right?
oh yeah, I
Well,
can imagine.
I don't know because the Jedi are kind of shady.
I know they are
Yeah, they
kind of
be
shady, but I would think that, I mean, she's not that far down the direct grapevine, because Anakin definitely knows who he is. Like,
oh
there's
yeah.
no way that Obi-Wan didn't tell him, hey, I cut this guy with a red head and spikes in half. He fell down a shaft, but that motherfucker came back with robot legs, and he's angry.
Yeah, so you got to imagine that she trained underneath Anakin, but then again they don't give a lot of context to all of the things they talked about. So who knows if he's come up. It'll be interesting when they do face off if she knows who he is. And this isn't a
Well,
spoiler, it's
I'm
in the
I'm
trailers.
thinking maybe she knows who he is in the abstract. Like, there was a Sith Lord who was killed, but she don't know his name, doesn't know the specifics behind everything and all that, and he is going to fill in the details for her, and then it's going to dawn on her that, oh, you're frickin' Darth Maul. You're a bad guy.
Yeah, that
I mean, I still never watched the trailer because apparently it gives stuff away. They're going to have a lightsaber duel at some point, aren't they?
yep.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
So let's fucking get to that already.
yeah, he's coming.
Yeah, yeah. So pretty
Because I
much
don't
how
necessarily
it's
got a problem with some talking, but I need a little more action than what happened in that. Because the only real suspense that was in that episode is waiting the entire episode, wondering is she going to reveal her Jedi self to either of these two at any point, and she still didn't.
Nah, she's been keeping that under wraps pretty well.
Real good.
Even at the spice place, she did a whole Jedi mind trick in her head, basically. Or I think she said it out loud. No, it was in her head because she did the hand wave and then wasn't talking, but he was just murmuring out what I assumed she was thinking.
I'm reading the chat. Tony Sandwiches says, Ahsoka knows Anakin is Darth Vader. They fight in Rebels. Well, Tony, you're kind of too far ahead. We're in the Clone Wars era right now.
You jumped
man.
a bit there. You
man, you just jumped the whole
20 years.
But it's good. It's good you have that knowledge, man. Yeah, but no, this is pre-Clone Wars, so
Anakin don't even know he's Darth Vader yet.
He's thought about it though.
Yeah, he's thought about it.
Yeah, when we saw that scene of him, he just jumped 5 parsecs.
Like Anakin definitely, he's reached out to a composer to come up with his Darth Vader theme. So he's thought about this, but he's not yet Darth Vader.
So let me get to your guys' highlights in the episode. And this was a slower episode, so we might have a talking scene as a highlight. PB, what was the highlight for you in this episode?
I mean, I guess the highlight of the episode is when Trace decides to hit the eject button like a dumb bitch and ejects all the spice out in hyperspace. Because I didn't know what the hell she was doing. I had no idea what that button was for at all. And I was like, what the hell is she looking at? Like, she's just going to hit, like, I thought it was like an all stop button or something. We're just going to stop in the middle of this freaking hyperspace lane or something. And she hits that fucking thing. And I literally put my hand over my mouth watching it. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, just did that like a complete idiot. And I thought the exact same thing that Ahsoka said. I was like, you had options, and now you're just straight screwed.
Yeah. I was man, like that scene was that whole scene was a highlight for me because it's just like watching the animation and stuff, and this is like, man, for a second I thought Ahsoka was like lifelike, but man, it's just like Trace, like. Is that all you claim you built this ship, so you have some sort of smarts in your brain, and the moment some pressure comes, you just mess it up for everybody because you didn't want to be right or wrong. Like, how dumb is that?
I don't. And wasn't that in the argument,
just
LB?
Because she wanted the other two to be wrong.
She says, "Now you're both
you
wrong."
made them wrong, but you made everybody wrong.
Like, oh man, okay. I'm sorry if I offend any females, but that is such a female thing to do when you're losing an argument, right? Because I went through this before. They just do some asinine shit, and you're like, well, why would you do that? Because now no one wins. I don't understand. So he was like, well, now you both lose, and it's like, no, we all lose because of the whole "I'm gonna be killed" thing.
Are you sure females do that? Because apparently, according to the extra left people, women are perfect and they do absolutely no wrong.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I let my white privilege get the best of me in there. I apologize.
You should. You definitely should.
Instead, I put it in the chat. Zod's a sexist, LOL, or laugh my ass up. Yeah, I've been called that for making a persuasive argument. It's like, no, it doesn't matter whether you're male or female. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Gender has nothing to do with it.
It does, because females are never wrong, and females are always right and perfect.
Hashtag believe women.
Always.
Jamie Vick says, in defense of females, not all females behave that way. I don't believe you do, Jamie Vick. You seem pretty sensible.
So you've never done something petty, Jamie Vick?
What? I mean, I don't know her life, but I've done petty things.
See, pettiness is universal, but in the context of an argument, I've been in those situations where it's just like, why was that your go-to for this argument? Or bringing up something that has nothing to do with the designated argument. It'd be like, well, do you remember last week when you dropped the... And I'm like, yes, argued about that. Thought we were done with that.
I mean, Trace. I mean,
We're
just,
never
come
done
on.
arguing about Star Wars.
That was just incredibly like just stupid of her. Like, very childlike. Now we see why you're not the boss of the sister relationship.
Yeah, and
you're an
That's
idiot.
right. She's just a stupid pilot.
Yeah.
What's up, perp? I see that you exist.
hey, what's up, perp? Good to see you. And I like the whole there to fight the EU, and Jamie Vick's left a message for you.
Perp-minded said, I'm just here to say, fuck the EU.
Oh. Wow.
Which I guess, a person could get on board with, because the Clone Wars isn't the EU. It's just in the movie universe. Like
Hello,
George
perp.
said.
Yeah. No, of course. But he said, hold on, we're not supposed to keep talking about that, because we're being very petty and we're being bullies. Okay, we need to stop that. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
So, Mr. LB,
What's that?
what was your moment in this, besides the spice mine or the spice shipment toboggle?
I mean, that was part of that whole scene. I like that whole scene, because like, Ahsoka and her was just fighting. Ahsoka and Rafa was just fighting and going back and forth. And also when I forgot the name of the people they met up with, the Pikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yep.
I was intrigued to see how they would get out of this, and Ahsoka is not using her Jedi training here, because she's using some Sith type things here, some heel tactics, with their plan on how to deliver these empty spice things and escape. But as you could see, it didn't work. We'll see how it turns out. But it's Ahsoka's being a great Jedi, I guess.
Oh yeah, the whole gray Jedi thing. How did that debate
Being a
ever
gay
end?
Jedi?
Said gray.
So they
You
did
know what I
change
said.
the love interest.
Who's being the villain now in your Kylo Ren hackers helmet?
Dude, I was told they were supposed to wear a mask for safety.
I wear a stash for safety.
That is not safe for anybody. Like, avert your eyeballs, people. Turn this into a audio cast. You ain't need to watch the screen. Ain't nothing happening on the screen you need to see.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Oh,
It's just terrifying.
Extra terrifying, that is.
That's why I'm just trying
so
to watch the chat and not look at the top of the screen. I don't have anything to cover it with, though. The Packers suck. Fuck off, man.
Whoa.
Go Pack, go, and fuck the Bears.
Bruh, Perp
I
don't know-
really
Perp-
hope
Perp-
that there
Perp-
isn't, Tony.
Hold on. Perp don't even know who the Bears are, PB.
Oh. I mean, they're in the woods.
They are.
I hit him with my car once.
True story. So my favorite part, like I said, was the whole exchange they did with the slaves in the Outer Rim, and how she made the comments of you would think the Republic would do something about it, kind of thing. I like that because it gave highlights to the ongoing theme, the change she's been having and viewing things differently. And I thought that had a lot of good character growth there. And of course, the spice scene, because like PB, my mouth was wide open. I was sitting there watching it besides Bitchy, and she goes, "Why is your mouth hanging open like that?" I go, "Because this bitch threw out all this spice. Like, I didn't see that coming. No, like, of all the things in that scene I thought was going to
30,000
happen.
credits.
Like,
30,000 credits.
what?
Like, credits would have done fine, but she ejected them out the side.
Like, that was the stupidest move. Yeah. Yeah. And two, the thing that they highlight a lot in this episode, that I wanted to point out, and I'll get you guys' thoughts, but her inexperience overall. Like, the older sister seems more worldly, even though she's shady. She knows how the world operates, even with her opposing views to what Ahsoka is saying. They were more arguing, brainstorming kind of a deal, because they knew both options they were giving out were not doable. And that shows the inexperience of the younger sister there. So it really kind of speaks to why she didn't want her to do this run.
I mean, with a hairdo like that, I wouldn't trust her to do anything. To be honest with you.
Oh man, that
They're both
hairdo.
pretty terrible. I mean, of the three of them, Ahsoka definitely has the best hair.
Yes. Even on the run, she maintains the hair quite nicely. So yeah, we had that. They tried to trick the syndicate into letting them go. They almost got away with it, and the whole armada came down. I'm gonna imagine that they're not gonna escape from that, because I don't believe the ship can outrun those people. And if it does, then
It totally can outrun those people.
shocked.
It could probably do the Kessel run in 11 parsecs.
Ooh.
No, I'm overestimating. It probably takes about a baker's dozen.
Tony Sandwich has said they look like salt and pepper. This is a good reference. So, I'm gonna get to the
Hold on, I gotta
rating.
ask a question in the chat real quick that has nothing to do with the Clone Wars. Curtis, who were you cheering for in Super Bowl 32 when it was the Packers versus the Broncos? That's all I need to know. Continue.
Ooh, sounds like a conflict. So I'm gonna go and get you guys' ratings, and then I do have another subject to talk about, because I realized this episode there wasn't much here to really dive into. So
Hold on. PB, he probably wasn't even alive when that happened.
Oh man! How do you
You'll
think
never
about
know.
that?
Because that was what?
Holy
that
shit.
was 98?
Yep.
Oh my god. That didn't even cross my mind. You're probably right, LB. He's like, wait, Super Bowl 32? What are we on now? We just had 54?
Something like that.
Yeah, he was being thought about by his parents. I mean, unless it was an accident.
That's possible.
Dun, dun, dun.
Speaking of thought abouts or accidents, what do you think about the score for this, or accidentally rate it?
I mean, I gave last week a 7, and I said that this one was slightly worse, so I'll give it a 6.5 for consistency. Because it's not
Nice.
like it was a bad episode. There wasn't enough action in it for me. That's pretty much what it was lacking. Because it did have plenty of character development. Like, you see where all of the characters are coming from. Ahsoka doesn't want to reveal herself. Rafa just wants to make money to pay back all of the schemes that apparently didn't work out. And Trace is an idiot pilot.
Yeah, that was a big reveal. That was the big reveal.
This guy gives me a Terrence answer. Unbelievable, LB. You see that?
Yeah, terrible.
LB,
Okay, LB, what'd you think about?
Yeah.
I'll give it a 7.7.
Ooh.
Like I said, I think I gave last week a 7.5, but I don't think it's a B episode for me. It's like, between a C and a B. So like a BC. I guess. Yeah, I mean, I liked it more than last week episode. I liked, the dialogue and stuff. It's Ahsoka doesn't trust them. Rafa doesn't trust Ahsoka. Trace is right now. She's just Trace. Like, she's done.
It seems like she's just a go along to get along.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Trace wants a friend because all she got is Rafa, so she wants Ahsoka to be her friend, but she doesn't want to disappoint her big sister, who would probably beat the crap out of her.
Oh yeah. With a fight with those two, definitely the older sister definitely's got that.
So Trace is definitely conflicted.
Yeah, I was in line last week with your guys's take. For me, I'm sitting at a solid 7. I appreciate the dialogue. I appreciated that one scene because I was just like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming. That level of stupidity. But all in all, it was a pretty slow-paced episode and an interesting place to put, and I'm using air quotes, filler in. So welcome, GP. Good to see you. It was an interesting place to have this kind of an episode. I expect the next ones to be all action with talking while they're moving. That's my hopes, anyways. So before I move right along here,
needs to be similar to episode what was it, 3 when they were breaking Echo out?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, how do we know this is, like, some people are saying it's filler? How do we not know that this is not filler? We don't know what the next episode is going to be about. The next episode, this could play directly into what happens to Ahsoka next.
I mean, what's the difference between filler and setup?
For me, filler's like, okay, if this episode was about Ahsoka and Trace and Rafa playing games at the casino the entire episode,
right?
And that's all they did. That would be a filler episode for me. Or if they did a Ahsoka sleeping the entire episode, and they did a flashback episode to when she was with the Jedi.
Okay.
That's filler for me. Like, just because an episode.
No, filler has to be. It has to be detracted from the story, and everything that happens in this episode is connecting what was set up in the previous episode. You can't just introduce the character and be like, oh yeah, here's a character, we know them already. You got to introduce them and set up who they are, and then this is connecting them to the spice and the pike, and they're gangsters. Like, who
Right.
who did they work for? I wonder. Probably some guy with a red head.
Right. I mean, people got to stop throwing around the word filler, man. You know, it
No, like
wasn't
watch Dragon Ball Z and you'll know what filler is.
right.
Holy shit, yeah.
Well, I mean, watch 24 episode seasons.
Yes.
You'll find filler.
Yeah, like when I was watching Arrow has a lot of those filler episodes.
Right. Right. Like every season that has a full order TV season will have filler in it, because there's no way you could do a full 24 something episodes that is directly involved into the plot line. I mean, even say for example, the Netflix Marvel shows, they all had filler episodes.
Oh yeah.
So like this ain't filler, man. It might not be what you was looking for, but it's not filler. Like, it wasn't pointless.
I'd say this was one that kind of slowed down the pace. While it's the same storyline, it slowed down the action so that you can learn more about the characters, as opposed to what people are used to, where it's just straight, droids getting sliced and some kind of conflict and things like that. So I think that, the Clone Wars has been doing this. That's the thing, when it premiered, they did this. This is nothing new. To me,
Right.
they're still following the same format they've always followed.
Yep. This is the same format it's always been. And
Yeah,
anybody that says otherwise, they didn't watch the Clone Wars.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is like, even when they had little side episodes, they still pertain to the main unit or the main storyline. But, for the life of me, there wasn't just filler, just slow arcs. And they
Yeah.
broke it because it was 22 or 24 episodes. They break it 12 and 12 or however it worked out, to where one half of the season would be about one entire story. The other half would be about the other entire story. So, and it's short format, people. 20 minutes,
Yeah.
25.
If that, if you add in the opening credits and in the end, this what episodes might be around 16, 17 minutes. The people, man, people just doing what they do, man. Like, I'm not telling you, I'm not saying, like, look, man, you have to think this is amazing, perfect. Like, I'm not even one of those people, because I don't like every single episode of the Clone Wars. But, I can't remember if I said this last week's stream, but like, when over the years, the Clone Wars gained a more of a cult following, and like there was a aura and mystique around the Clone Wars series. Like, it was just the most perfect TV. No, it's not, and people need to stop acting like it was.
It wasn't.
Nope. It was like a 9.999 out of 10.
Oh, I was giving it a 9.8. Okay, so I was being reasonable.
Yeah, little bit.
You have, and that's the thing.
No, if you don't watch this episode, you're not going to understand what's going on with the character, because if you just started watching the next episode, you'd be like, how the hell did they get here? So it can't be filler.
Yeah, that's actually true. And that's the one thing I noticed with the episodes. When you go back through and you watch them all consecutively, then it's a nice, even flow. It's just, it's the endless thing we've been talking about. When you're doing it one at a time, and judging it just by one type of one episode in one context, you can't really get a feel of what
are you doing, guy?
Flow is.
Yeah.
What's that?
Stay focused.
What are you doing? Are you receiving a food delivery?
Damn, forgot my camera was on. Hey, a villain needs Mickey D's.
Unbelievable.
And
stay focused. Back on
and
task.
so there's a flow. There's a flow that you see when you go back through it. And I think if we watch these, like, what I would like for us to do is to do like to end it all do a series overview. So everyone who's watching, all 10 people, appreciate you. And maybe we'll do a whole entire series review and then talk about how it all fits as a series, all of the highlights, things like that. That way you get a better feel of the show as a whole. And Senate, whoever said I was professional?
I was also thinking about doing something like a mid-season review, and like, cause I mean, when I was doing the watch, when me, Senate, and King Sloan was watching, we was talking about do like a mid-season review and try to find some people that is not praising the season, and have a discussion about, okay, if you don't like what's going on now, what can be done to make it better, instead of doing the whole I hate it, it's not this, it's not that, and have like no solutions for what you think could be better.
Yeah, that's the
How do
thing.
you find that unicorn?
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is that you hear a lot of I don't like this and this, but what don't you really like about the series and the way it's going, right? And hopefully not the stupid it doesn't follow the original cut or the original animations or whatever the
They
hell
don't
is
like
floating
that
out
it's
there.
made by Disney.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
And here's the thing. I'm
Tommy
sorry to
still
tell
here?
you. What's that?
Is Tommy still here?
No,
I think so, yeah.
That's why he doesn't like it, and he hasn't seen a single minute.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you could say what you want to, but I guarantee you within this year, Disney has put out something that you have watched and you've liked. I can guarantee it.
I mean, you watch the reviews. I'm pretty sure Senate watched the reviews. So y'all come up with some people that you think we could reach out to that would be down to have a discussion about like the season so far. We can
I'll
make it
DM some
happen.
people. I know some people who are reasonable.
No, they ain't even
For
got to
an
be.
unreasonable.
They don't even got to be
They don't
reasonable.
have to be reasonable. They just
Yeah,
have to show up.
Yeah, and learn how to have an adult conversation. That's all.
Right.
They can hate it all they
Reasonable
want.
in that sense.
Yeah.
The Polish guy put a good comment. He said Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers did not watch the last 2 episodes because he doesn't trust what would be done.
Well, I'm
The
sad
hell does
because
that mean?
I'm terribly sad because Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers didn't watch the last Star Wars: The Clone Wars episodes. Oh,
How will we go on?
we won't. How our God isn't watching the Clone Wars. Wow.
Right? Like, I can't believe that we've watched these 2 episodes without him.
Yeah.
Like, that's like watching without permission.
Right.
Oh, Herp Minded said, Jeremy is a dickhead.
Well, I don't look at heads with penises on them, so I can't confirm.
At Pop Culture, you have a question here.
Where? I have a question. Oh, you
Or
want me to
possibly
read
a
this?
joke.
Palpatine was out in the desert having a suntan. A stormtrooper comes up and asks, why Palpatine having a tan? He replied, because he wanted to catch some rays.
that was actually a pretty good one. I like that.
Okay, well.
But she's not a clone.
Well, Generation Productions, 1 out of 3 is okay. That's a good batting average, especially in today's age of baseball.
Right? Keep that up for 15 years. You can go to Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Because, right now, batting .233 is good in baseball.
So, I wanted to talk to you all. There's one confirmed and one rumor, and I figured we do The Mandalorian, so why not talk about the Mandalorian a bit because it does tie into Clone Wars as well now, apparently. Uh, and I heard they're supposed to be bringing in Darth Maul as well as Ahsoka.
What's the source?
The source is, of course, we got this covered. LB, what
So-
other source would I use?
So why are we talking about this then?
No,
Because he wants to talk about a rumor.
no, it's a rumor for the Darth Maul. It's confirmed for the Ahsoka thing. So
If we got this covered confirms it, it's not a confirmation.
we got this covered. Didn't confirm the Ahsoka thing.
Bruh. You just said something confirmed. So who confirmed this?
Oh no, that was the Darth Maul rumor that's floating around.
So we got this covered confirmed this.
For that they're supposed to be bringing in Darth
And-
Maul, or they're casting
and,
for that.
and like I said, if we got this covered confirms anything, it's not a confirmation.
Right. We got this covered. Can't confirm anything.
Exactly.
They're
So
unable. They're like a running raccoon out of a burning building.
so let's live in the world of hypotheticals for a second then.
Sure.
Say, like most people do, say they do this Ahsoka thing and we have the Clone Wars. Do you think this could be a way to tie the Clone Wars and the Mandalorian? Say they have Ahsoka fight Maul, right? And then they have them return in Mandalorian, which I don't think would make sense considering he got killed in Rebels. So that's
They
my
got
hole in
sliced
that
in the
theory.
effing heart.
Yeah, so I don't think he's coming back, but do you think that would be a tie-in to the Clone Wars? Considering Dave Filoni does work on both.
I mean, sure, why not?
Yeah. Confirmed here. Mandalorian tied to the Clone Wars via a man who was chopped in half and then sliced in the heart.
Yep, now he's got a metal heart. He could be like the Tin Man. No, but with the Ahsoka thing, which we know is the thing, where do you guys think they're gonna bring this character? Do you think seriously that will tie in somehow to the Clone Wars, Rebels? What do you think the game plan is for her introduction?
Ahsoka's introduction to the Mandalorian?
Yes.
Man, I don't know. I mean,
It's got to be something centered around her quest for the dark saber, vengeance for Sabine, yada yada yada, something.
So you think that they'll use? Actually, you think Filoni will use it to tie Rebels, Clone Wars, and the Mandalorian together? Because that would tie all three.
I mean, they're already tied together.
Yeah, true. They do have Cowboy Dave. Now here's the other thing too, is that they're talking about doing what they did last season, which is having different directors. What do you guys think about them doing that format? Or should they just stick to having two people directing or whatever?
I mean,
It's a TV show. I would prefer one director.
I mean, I would counterpoint that whatever it's called. Anyway, it's a TV show. Like, what TV shows use one director? Like, seriously.
That's true.
I
Breaking
have no
Bad.
idea.
Exactly. like straight up, directors they're not a big deal for TV shows, man. Like, I'm not saying anybody could be a TV director, but it's like, they just pick anybody.
Right, but I don't want to have the problem where I'm watching a TV show and one or two of the episodes feel drastically different in the same sense of if you're watching Marvel movies and you watch The Winter Soldier and then you watch Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Like that's supposed to they're in the same universe, they're completely connected, and they're entirely different. Like that's the only problem I have when they have these different directors. Like I understand like when you're watching Game of Thrones, they had different directors when they did different styles of episodes. Like
Right.
they Miguel Sapochna did all the episodes when they were big battles because that was his specialty. So
Yeah.
I understand that. But if you're not doing that in a TV show and you're just doing, oh, well, I'm going to direct this episode because I wanted to, and then it feels different and it makes the season disjointed in the middle, that just seems odd to me.
Yeah, I mean, you make perfect sense. Like that's how it should be done. Like you said with the Game of Thrones references. Like I mean, the Mandalorian for me, like if they do season 2, like for the episodes where you do heavy action, you use a person whose specialty is heavy action. Like say Deborah Chow, she did a good job with the heavy action episodes. Like I said before, the only episode from season 1 of The Mandalorian that stood out to me was the one where Ron Howard's daughter, who never directed in her life, directed an episode, and it clearly showed.
See,
Yep.
and I think that's the thing that maybe PB is referencing to is that if I'm
Oh,
not mistaken, those episodes were, you know, were helmed, and did they do the stories, or did just Dave uh Farvo do the stories, or did each
Farvo.
director write and direct the
Favreau.
whole entire Favreau, yes, or did each of the directors write and direct the whole entire episode?
No, the directors didn't write any episodes. Well, outside of because did John Favreau direct the episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably
Ooh.
wrote it, but like I mean, not. We'll look it up. We'll do that. We're not gonna do the "we got this covered" thing.
Because then you would be able to tell the difference, because I could notice a difference in story between each episode. There seemed to be like an inconsistency into how things flowed until you got back to the main storyline. So I wonder if like those little side episodes, someone actually different was writing it.
Nope. John Favreau was the writer of every single episode except for 5, where him and Dave Filoni were the writers. Episode 6 was written by Christopher Yost and some other people. Episode 7, oh well, he wrote episode 7. So yeah, John Favreau he did not write one episode, but none of the directors were writers for any of the episodes.
Okay, so yeah, it would be
Okay.
like a Breaking Bad situation did that too. Vince Gilligan did the story, but they had our favorite person, Ryan Johnson, directed an episode, which actually was the best episode in the series, in my opinion. So, yeah, direction though is very important because those you could tell the difference in between each episode of the where what everything was doing, the actions and things like that. So directing is a very important job. But if the writing doesn't change, then the story should remain consistent. So that's interesting. My other thing is, before we go, what are some things you guys are hoping to see for the next episode of the Clone Wars?
A fucking lightsaber.
I knew maybe he was gonna say that. You said that.
I only said it the last 2 episodes.
I want to see Rafa and Ahsoka hook up.
Oh my
Oh God, no. LB, don't say that, because you know that's
So
the thing
then-
they could do.
Hold on, you
So
don't.
then
You,
Trace
totally
is gonna
do
walk
that.
in on that and be like, "I thought we were friends."
Yes. Like you don't see the sexual tension between Rafa and Ahsoka?
Well, I mean, now that you've said something and I'm thinking about it, son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna be.
Oh my
Oh
God. They
no.
did change
So
the sex interest or the love interest or whatever you want to call it.
the next episode's called Dangerous Debt. So like Ahsoka's going to save them from, this debt that, Rafa and Trace have. So Ahsoka's going to collect on that debt, which will, it'll happen.
Man, let me tell you, if that happened,
Be
do you
like,
know how
you owe me
crazy the
now,
internet would go?
Rafa.
Oh my God, actually, I hope that happens. That would be wonderful. You know how many people would be like, uh, oh, we knew it. We saw it coming. Disney is done. Blah, 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 blah.
Dude, I don't care if Ahsoka's hooking up with women or men or aliens.
Just as long as there's a lightsaber.
Why does that matter? So as long as there's a freaking light, cut
Battle.
something in half,
God.
take a limb off, like brandish that weapon and scare the shit out of someone.
Oh man, so this is just our quick little in-depth analysis. There really wasn't much to decode, people. It was exposition, set up, getting us ready for action heavy. Let's hope Darth Maul. That's what I want the next episode. I want to see that Darth Maul fight. But then again, maybe I don't, because like that feels like it
That early.
would be early. But then again, it might not be, because we're at the
How
halfway
many
point.
more lightsaber battles are there supposed to be?
I don't know. That was the only one that I saw as the big highlight. So who knows? I mean, we could have
Apparently, LB
one
died.
big one. And LB, the corona finally got him. No,
No, man,
no.
there's no way that it invaded the Lonely Cave.
Yeah, man, the Lonely Cave is on lockdown. We'll see you later, GP. But yeah, so that's pretty much gonna do it for our review. I mean, it wasn't that exciting. There wasn't that much really to unpack in this episode. But yeah, we'll be
Nope,
doing
that's
this
straight
again.
to the
And
point.
yeah, it was pretty straightforward episode. There wasn't nothing hitting. A couple little Easter eggs here and there, but I appreciate we had 10 people watching. That's good, especially in this corona environment where I'm sure there's like 15 people streaming right now. So oh, Perp said, now that LB is gone, I can pull this watch more anime coming back soon.
I said
Yeah.
no.
So
See you later,
let's
Mr. Sandwiches.
see you later, Tony. Thanks for coming by. If you're new, hit that subscribe. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. I got some more great stuff, but first let me have my commander in chief, second in command, the person who keeps everything in line, tell you about all the new and exciting stuff he's got coming out. Go ahead, PB.
Who knows what the new and exciting stuff is? I mean, there'll be another episode of MCU March Madness coming soon. You can watch the previous one. That's the newest thing that I have out. And then you can go to my Twitter by the same name, Pop Culture PB, and vote on the poll that I have up. And then we'll be back next week to talk about the next episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Exactly. We're going to be doing this right to the end. Maybe we'll have a mid-season finale breakdown. Make it a little bit longer. Thank you, Jamie, Vic. We enjoy spending time with you guys. And don't forget, tomorrow will be the Fandom Zone will be back. Everybody is cured, so the late night talks will be returning, and I
Cool.
can finally get out and stream because people aren't infected. Also, I want to say shout out to everyone giving my mobile gaming videos love. So I'll be giving some breakdowns there. I got 3 coming out, one for Seven Deadly Sins, one for Strike Force, and a character breakdown of 2 new characters I got. I got
Maybe we should put the
Shin.
game title in the name.
Yes, I'm going to do that because I got scolded by PB. And right on time, LB, tell them about the new stuff you got coming out on your channel.
Absolutely nothing.
You got a stream on Wednesday?
Yeah. Y'all better show up.
Yeah. You know what it's about yet?
I'm not
If
sure.
you don't show up, LB will be sad in the lonely cave. Very sad.
If you don't show up,
He's
I'm
gonna be
closing
ranking
down.
something.
No, I ain't ranking anything yet. I don't know yet, but
Oh.
it's gonna be. I'm waiting on some confirmation. But if y'all don't show up, I will be closing my YouTube channel.
Oh shit!
You heard it
Show
here
up,
first.
people. Show up. But yeah, no, I wasn't buying any characters. Senate, I got them for free. I have not spent a dime on the Disney Arena. I actually did an offer for free diamonds, so I didn't spend a dime of it, of real currency in that game. But I'll be giving you guys some team breakdowns, things like that. And I got a review coming for the Ozarks Season 3 and Slasher Seasons 1 through 3. And I'll tell you how Season 1 and 2 were amazing, and Season 3 went completely woke, as the kids like to put it. So, anyways, thank you, everybody. We'll be back here Sunday. Don't miss it. It's going to be awesome. Maybe we'll have a... because LB inspired me, we'll have a mid-season breakdown and talk about everything that's happened so far and, you know, where we think it's going and all that stuff. So, as always, remember the only rule here in the fandom car.
Shave your upper lip.
Perfect.